had a conversation with Kirk and Rashida.
Oh boy, okay.
She brought up, you know, the defects case with Cannon because he's been tardy a lot. And I'm just like, you haven't been concerned about anything in years. This is my first time hearing from you,
So
actually.
she wants to bring up all the negativity as opposed to taking control and being a real stepmother.
Kirk Frost and Jasmine Washington have a complicated history that has been playing out for years, especially for fans of the reality show Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. If you've been following their story, you're probably familiar with the drama that started when Kirk, who was married to Rashida at the time, had an affair with Jasmine. That affair eventually led to the birth of their son, Cannon. Since then, things have been messy, with no sign of things slowing down. At first, Kirk denied being Cannon's father. This sparked a huge paternity scandal that dragged on for some time. But once a DNA test confirmed that Kirk was, in fact, Cannon's father, he had no choice but to take responsibility. However, Jasmine felt that Kirk was doing the bare minimum when it came to being a father. Over time, the situation got even messier. Jasmine accused Kirk of trying to keep Cannon away from her, while Kirk claimed that Jasmine was unstable and irresponsible. Their conflict played out on social media, and there were several heated arguments, as well as attempts at co-parenting that never really worked out. Now, years later, things have taken an even more dramatic turn. Kirk has filed for full custody of Cannon, and Jasmine was caught completely off guard. She thought that they had come to some sort of understanding, even if it wasn't perfect, but Kirk's legal move changed everything. Jasmine was not happy about this new development. Kirk's decision to seek full custody of Cannon was not random, it was a calculated legal move. According to sources close to the situation, Kirk's argument in court was that Jasmine was unfit to provide a stable and secure home for their son.
First of all, some of y'all might not know this stupid shit, but somebody really in the comments, the shade room is definitely always gonna have to, you know, you're gonna get it, you're gonna put that work in over there. But is Jasmine pregnant by me? I wouldn't know, okay? That's number one.
He pointed to past conflicts, social media outbursts, and what he described as an inconsistent lifestyle as proof that Cannon would be better off with him. Kirk also highlighted his financial stability, thanks to his long-running career in reality TV and his business ventures. He argued that he was capable of providing for Cannon without financial strain. His legal team emphasized that he wasn't trying to completely cut Jasmine out of Cannon's life, but believed that having full custody was necessary to ensure Cannon's well-being in a stable environment. Jasmine, however, wasn't backing down without a fight. She fired back, accusing Kirk of using his money and influence to push her out of Cannon's life. She argued that just because Kirk had more financial resources didn't mean he was automatically the better parent. According to Jasmine, Kirk had been absent from large portions of Cannon's life and was only stepping in now because he wanted control. She insisted that she had always been there for Cannon, and she believed Kirk was painting an unfair picture of her to sway the court's decision. In cases like this, family courts take several factors into account when deciding custody arrangements. While financial stability is certainly one consideration, the court also looks at the overall well-being of the child, the parent's ability to co-parent, and any history of conflict. Jasmine's history with Kirk may have put her at a disadvantage. She had previously posted heated rants on social media, venting her frustrations publicly. While this may not seem like a huge issue, courts often view these kinds of public outbursts as signs of instability, especially when children are involved. There had also been reports of past altercations between Jasmine and Kirk, which may have added to the judge's concerns. However, Kirk's history wasn't without flaws either. His initial denial of Cannon and his past infidelity with Jasmine certainly didn't paint him as a model father. But in court, what mattered most was his ability to provide a structured, stable environment. And on that front, Kirk came well prepared with legal arguments that supported his case. Jasmine didn't take the news of the custody filing well. According to sources, she initially tried to reach out to Kirk directly, but he ignored her. Feeling frustrated and shut out, Jasmine turned to social media. Over the next few days, she posted a series of rants calling out Kirk for trying to take Cannon away from her. She accused him of manipulating the legal system and using his wealth to tip the scales in his favor. In her posts, Jasmine insisted that she had always been there for Cannon, and she believed that Kirk was making moves behind her back to remove her from their son's life. Her frustration was clear. She felt betrayed, blindsided, and powerless. However, the social media posts were just the beginning. As things continued to escalate, Jasmine took her frustrations to the next level. Reports indicate that she showed up at Kirk's home, demanding to see Cannon. Witnesses claim that she was shouting outside, trying to get his attention. Some even say she pounded on the door, refusing to leave until Kirk responded. The situation quickly escalated. Allegedly, Jasmine damaged property, including Kirk's car. Some reports suggest she may have even broken a window. Although the full details of the incident are still unclear, it's evident that emotions were running high. As the situation at Kirk's home became more intense, security footage and eyewitness reports started to surface. According to sources familiar with the incident, the footage reportedly shows Jasmine pacing outside Kirk's home, knocking aggressively on the door, and shouting at someone inside. After getting no response, she allegedly tried to open the door herself, yanking at the handle multiple times. Reports also suggest that she was caught on camera damaging Kirk's car, possibly by scratching the paint or hitting it in frustration. Neighbors who lived near Kirk's home later confirmed that they had heard loud shouting before the police arrived. Some neighbors claimed they heard Jasmine yelling about her son and accusing Kirk of keeping him away from her. Witnesses described the situation as heated, with Jasmine growing more agitated as time passed. Interestingly, Kirk never came outside to engage with Jasmine directly. Instead, he reportedly stayed inside, possibly calling the authorities to avoid further escalating the situation.
So the truth is that you have been trying to smash. I have the proof.
She says she got the proof. This is my first time actually reading the text, and I just feel like this is beneath me.
When the police arrived, they tried to de-escalate the situation. Sources say that officers initially approached Jasmine calmly, asking her to step away from the property and explain what was happening. But by that point, tensions had already reached a boiling point, and Jasmine was allegedly still upset as the police attempted to calm her down. Eventually, the situation didn't go in her favor. She was arrested for property damage and trespassing after the police assessed the scene and reviewed security footage. One of the biggest concerns in the case was whether Cannon was present during the incident.
Kim,
Why would you not want to have an open line of communication with me if your husband's trying to me? I feel like that's even more reason for me to have communication with you. That way I don't have to deal with him. Kirk can be obsolete.
If Cannon was inside the house while all of this was happening, it could significantly impact how the courts handle the custody case moving forward. If a child is exposed to a chaotic or potentially dangerous situation, judges may see that as evidence that one parent is unstable. While some reports say that Cannon was at home during the incident, it hasn't been fully confirmed. However, if he witnessed his mother's arrest or heard the argument from inside, it could complicate matters further. Jasmine's legal troubles could make things even worse for her. Depending on the charges filed against her, she could be facing criminal trespassing, property damage, and disturbing the peace. These legal issues could also affect her fight for custody. Family courts place a high priority on a parent's ability to provide a stable and safe environment for their child. If the court sees this incident as evidence that Jasmine is emotionally volatile or unpredictable, it could weaken her case. With Jasmine now facing arrest, Kirk's legal team might push for a restraining order against her. If the court grants a restraining order, Jasmine would be legally required to stay away from both Kirk and Cannon, depending on the terms of the order. This could further limit her access to her son, making it easier for Kirk to secure full custody. Jasmine's legal troubles don't just put her in a difficult position criminally, they could also help Kirk's case for gaining full custody. Family courts take patterns of behavior into account, so if Jasmine has a history of outbursts, past conflicts with Kirk, or legal issues, all of that will be considered. Even if this is the first time she's been arrested, it could be enough to sway the court's decision, especially because it involved a confrontation over their child. If Jasmine doesn't lose custody completely, she might only be allowed supervised visitation. This would mean that she could only see Cannon under court-approved conditions, possibly in a neutral location with a social worker or third party present. It's still too early to say exactly how things will play out, but one thing is clear: this custody battle has taken a major turn, and it's not looking good for Jasmine. As news of Jasmine's arrest spread, social media exploded with reactions from fans and critics alike. Some people took her side, saying that she was just a frustrated mother fighting for her child. One person commented, "I feel for Jasmine, but she let her emotions get the best of her." Now, Kirk has all the ammunition he needs to keep her away from Cannon. Another person added, "Kirk did Jasmine dirty from the start, but this isn't the way to handle it. Now she's looking like an unstable parent in court." On the other hand, some fans said that Jasmine should have taken a more legal approach instead of letting her emotions drive her actions, as this might have strengthened Kirk's case. In the middle of all the chaos, Kirk shared a quote on social media: "A father's job is to protect his son at all costs. Nothing else matters." While he didn't mention Jasmine by name, it was clear who he was referring to. Once Jasmine was released from jail, she didn't waste any time addressing the situation. She took to social media to explain her side of things, claiming that Kirk was trying to erase her from Cannon's life. In a now-deleted Instagram Live video, Jasmine said she had been blocked from seeing or even talking to Cannon. She argued that Kirk was making it seem like she was unstable to the courts and that the system was unfair, especially to mothers who don't have money. Kirk Frost and Jasmine Washington's ongoing saga has been playing out in the public eye for years, and the drama seems to only grow with time. Fans of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta have witnessed their complicated relationship unfold, especially after Kirk, who was married to Rashida, had an affair with Jasmine. That affair ultimately led to the birth of their son, Cannon, and from that point on, things have never been the same. The situation has been far from smooth, and despite the years that have passed, the drama continues to unfold in increasingly unpredictable ways. Initially, Kirk denied being Cannon's father, and this denial sparked a lengthy paternity scandal that only seemed to add fuel to the fire. The paternity test, however, revealed the truth, confirming that Kirk was indeed Cannon's father. Once that was settled, Kirk had no choice but to step up, but Jasmine wasn't satisfied with his involvement. She felt that he was only doing the bare minimum as a father and wasn't putting in the effort she expected.